Hello?
How's it going? Mr. Helms?
Yes.
How are you?
Very good.
Carter Koleske with Liberty Mutual.
Nice to meet you, Carter. Please have a seat.
Oh, thank you very much.
Thank you for coming in today.
Yeah, thank you.
I have another appointment in a few minutes, so I'm going to set this clock so that we can keep ourselves on track. If that's okay?
Yeah, sounds great.
Very good.
I just want to thank you again so much for agreeing to set this meeting with me, and,
Yes.
and thank you for giving me a call back and for left that voicemail. And first, I just want to ask, do you have any plans for Thanksgiving coming up?
We do. Well, we just returned from a holiday. My wife and I went on a holiday to Italy, which is a lovely trip, and then now we're going to go to the in-laws. Well, I get to go to the in-laws for Thanksgiving.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
That sounds like a great time. Well, just to start off, I know you said you're very tight schedule, and so I just want to respect your time. So is 12 minutes still okay?
Yes, fine.
Perfect. All right. And then I want to hand you my business card.
Oh, very good.
Yep, so if all my information's on there, you can give me a call or an email. If you ever have any problems with anything or have any questions, please feel free at any time.
Okay.
And then I also would love to set an agenda for today's meeting.
Okay.
And so to start off, I just kind of want to start asking you a few questions about Falcon Data Services.
Yes.
And a little bit more about what your role is and some of the company's goals and your personal goals.
Sure.
And then after that, I have a presentation prepared that I feel like if I see a need that we could possibly meet and improve on a situation, I would love to be able to get that.
Okay.
Does that sound okay?
That sounds fine.
Is there anything you'd like to add?
No.
All right, awesome. Do you mind if I take some notes?
Please.
All right. To start off, I was just curious. I know you're very important to the company. I know you're director of HR, but is there anyone else that you feel like should be in on this meeting?
No, this is fine.
Okay, sounds great. Well then, could you just start off telling me a little bit about your role and then some of your goals that you have for the company?
Right, I'm the director of human resources, and I report to the executives and the C-suite. And my direction that's been given to us in our department from me and my team is to hire 30 more programmers.
Okay.
We currently have a staff of 300, and we need to increase that to 330.
Okay. Gotcha. And how does your onboarding process work?
Well, you know, we work with a variety of recruiting type things. With some recruiters, we have career fairs and those kinds of activities. But we're having some trouble.
Yeah,
we're having trouble. Yeah.
I'm sorry to hear that. Could you potentially just explain to me a little bit more?
Well, you know, there's two issues really that come to mind's eye. Is that having an attractive offering, we're not as attractive. One of the issues in that place is that we don't pay enough, and that's something I can't change. Our salaries are not as competitive as we would like, but again, that's not non-negotiable. So what can we do besides the salaries to increase that? So that's one issue, and that's one of the reasons that I was interested in meeting with you and Liberty Mutual. And the second is that because of the lack of being able to hire, we do also have a turnover problem.
Okay.
And so being able to replace the people that leave.
What would your turnover rate be, or what is your turnover rate?
Our turnover rate right now is 30%,
Oh, wow. Okay.
and we want to decrease that. It's another directive that's been given to the team is to lower that to 24.
Lower that down to 24?
Yeah.
Okay. And so I know you said your salaries aren't quite as competitive as some of your competitors, and what do you guys offer alongside your salaries? Do you have any sort of?
We do have what I consider a standard benefit package that we have the health, and we have the dental, and we have vacation days, and we even have some additional days besides the national holidays that we offer.
Oh, fantastic. Do you have anything along the lines of any other voluntary benefits?
No, we don't.
Okay. So what I'm hearing is that you guys aren't quite as competitive in salary, but you do offer very competitive benefits package as it is right now. And your turnover rate is quite high, and you'd like to lower that down to 24%.
Yes.
Exactly?
Yes.
Okay. So what do you feel like your employees are looking for exactly?
Well, you know, some of the exit interviews, they're looking for a place they can be enthused about, and exit interviews with our current employees. They want something to be excited about. We haven't introduced a new product in 2 years. Now, we do have a product in the pipeline, for example. I don't know much about it. You know, my pay grade doesn't allow me to know the details, but our competition has introduced a product, a competing product that has been well received. 2 hours, yeah.
Okay.
And it's been well received, and we want to get this product out, but
of course
that's why we need 30 more.
Yeah, I totally understand what you're saying, and so I feel like I have a pretty good understanding of some of the needs that you kind of have right now. So you're looking for something that could potentially set you apart from your competitor that's not money-based. And that way you're looking for that top tier of new employees coming in that are going to be able to withstand the task of this new product that you guys are having come out. And so I feel like Liberty has something that could definitely fit that. Would you mind if I jump into that presentation?
I'd like to know. Tell me.
Yeah. So what we have is our affinity partnership program. And so what that is it's a partnership with Liberty Mutual, an exclusive agreement. And so we would offer 5 to 10%, or no, excuse me, yeah, 10 to 15% off of home and auto insurance, which is something that all of your employees already have right now. It's not mandatory, it's basically mandatory.
Yeah.
And so that's something that not a lot of other companies have right now, and it's something that would definitely put roughly right around $300 to $350 in each one of your employees' pocket every month.
Interesting.
So in a way, you're not giving them a pay raise, but they're saving money in another aspect of their life.
Very good. That's interesting. Great.
Do you have any further questions on that?
Well, how's it work? And how would we implement that kind of a program into our...
Oh yeah, fantastic. So right now it's of no cost to you, and then what we would do is I would personally come in as frequent as you'd want me to, be that once a week, once every 3 days, once a month. I'd come into your office so your employees would not have to leave the office to go talk to a rep.
Okay.
And I would sit down with them, lay out a plan, answer any questions, and then we can hopefully find them a policy that fits them at a savings to their
You said
current provider.
something about exclusive? What does that mean?
So all that means is that we would have an exclusive partnership, your company and Liberty Mutual.
That's probably not available to us because we do have a habit and a policy of using multiple vendors.
Well, there is actually a benefit to Liberty Mutual's program is that you can use whoever you want personally. Like if, let's say you have farmers,
Sure.
and you want to stay with farmers because your uncle is the rep. So you're more than welcome to stay with farmers. We would just be able to help out the rest of your employees if they wanted to go with Liberty, and we could offer them a savings. So you could go with whoever you would choose to, but there's still that option. That's why we call it a voluntary benefits program, because you don't have to do it.
Okay, all right. Interesting. So, but in the same way, we could work with other vendors as a corporate in B2B sense. We could work with other vendors. But that's the part of exclusive that I'm not sure I understand.
You could still work in a B2B standpoint with other vendors.
Okay. Great.
Yeah. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how do you feel like this?
I'm interested. I'm really kind of concerned about how this would fit with our firm, and you're kind of addressing the morale question. I want to get people excited about working with Falcon Data Services again.
What do you feel like excites your employees?
Feeling valued.
Feeling valued?
Yeah, feeling valued, feeling important, feeling that we
Is
care.
it from a salary aspect or from?
I don't know that salary. People don't quit because of pay. People quit because of their boss, or they quit something else.
Yeah.
What is it that this would bring that would help show that we love them, that they're important?
How it would show that you love them is that other companies don't provide it currently. And so if your competitors aren't providing this is something else that you're going above and beyond.
Sure.
You're going above and beyond what your competitors have right now, and you're doing something that no one else is doing to be able to provide them a service and a savings that saves them not only time but also money. And it would provide a long-lasting insurance relationship with myself.
Okay.
So
Very interesting. Thank you.
of course. Does that alleviate any concerns?
Yeah, that helps. That helps a lot. Yes.
Okay. So if you have any other, do you have any other concerns?
No, I don't. No, this is great.
Okay. So is there any reason why I wouldn't want to move forward to that?
We can move forward. What do you have next?
This is our contract right here.
Okay.
So all I would need is your signature and then a date.
Well, I don't have the authority to actually make changes to our benefit program. I'll have to visit with Patel, who's two reports above me. But I would certainly like to share this with Patel if I may.
Yeah, perfect. Is there any chance we could set up a meeting next week?
I will meet with him on Monday. We could do it after Monday, Monday morning.
How about Monday at 3:15?
Monday at 3:15 would be great.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Good.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate your time. All right.
All right, cut.
Good
How'd you do?
I feel like I did okay.
Yeah?
I don't know.
How many times have you done this?
This is my third role play.
Third role play. How'd you do, guys?
You did great.
Good.
Yeah, you did awesome.
Thank
All
you.
right, so talk.
I'll start. Really awesome questions from the start. Good opening. You developed rapport with him. You really got that going. Set a good, strong agenda. And then the questions on the Explore side were awesome. You uncovered all of the gaps. One of the questions I really liked was, what do you feel like your employees are looking for? I thought that was an awesome question. It really got him talking, got some better understanding. You didn't stop when he just said, this is what we're looking to do. You kind of kept going on that. On the presentation side, I thought you did an awesome job. One of the things you said, the $300 to $350 back in their pocket, quantifying that savings on auto insurance. We haven't seen that yet today, I can tell you, and that was really good. That was definitely something that got him excited. Just being ultra critical on that side, finding something to give some feedback on, would be to continue to really tie the gaps you uncovered to the positioning. I thought on the features and benefits side, you could have maybe gone a little bit farther on some of them. Just being highly critical, just to kind of make sure that he understood it and it definitely fit his needs. But other than that, I would say you handled the objections well. You didn't just, he gave you an objection one time, and instead of you just jumping back and doing a quick response, you asked him, well, what do you feel excites your employees, to gain more understanding of what the objection entails. So I thought that was really good. Then you set up another meeting, so the closing was good as well.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, man, I think this was an awesome role play. I'm basically just gonna agree with everything that he said that's good about it, and just be super hypercritical as well. When you give him the business card at first, maybe don't spend too much time on that, just for role play's sake.
Yeah.
And then, like I'm saying that you did all the good things that he said. I'm just being super critical. You asked what's your role and goals at the same time. Maybe just don't ask two questions at once. When he gives you got all the gaps out of him, which I don't think anybody's done yet today. You restated his needs before you went into the presentation. Maybe after he tells you some of the gaps, just to make it a little bit more impactful. How would it impact you if I close that gap, kind of thing?
Yeah, I missed that. That was one thing that I missed.
And then, even on top of that, so you don't sound so redundant, because you were able to get all of the gaps out of them, you could do that for one gap, another one, if I can close that gap for you. Is that a reason that you'd be more interested in moving forward with this today?
Yeah.
And then, when you're doing the fab, maybe tie it back into some of the gaps a little bit. But you did a really good job with the fab side. And then this is being super critical, with the morale lift part. You forgot to acknowledge, no big deal. You actually explored, which is the most important part that everybody misses. And then the only part that I would say that I think you might have just missed layering on, which it's kind of hard to layer on every single part that you can, because I know I've been in these role plays, you can miss a lot of things that you could totally layer upon, but it was going off the excitement part, and then he was just like, I just don't know about how this is going to show them love. Said something like that. And then I think you just jumped right into responding. That was the only time you did it, though.
Okay.
But yeah, other than that, man, great job.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Good input from these two guys, so I'm just going to end on a positive
Yeah.
note. I don't know if your empathy is taught or if it's just natural, but it's really good. It plays well in these competitions, and it'll play well in the real world. When you got an objection thrown at you, or when you were uncovering gaps, I heard you say, "I'm sorry to hear that." And
I completely understand. I remember you saying that in a very empathetic way.
And that empathy, it comes across, and it's extremely
Refreshing.
important.
Very
It's
sincere.
refreshing. It was sincere. It
Yeah.
wasn't. It didn't come across as. That's why I had asked the question: is this, really who Carter is, or is this something that's been trained into you? Because that's a great trait to have.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, leading off that, sometimes in these role plays, I always just almost in the middle want to just shout out, why is it so tense in here?
Yeah.
I did not have
Just gotta
that.
relax.
This was more relaxed, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
No, that's good.
I didn't have that.
That's a compliment to you.
Thank
Yeah.
you. This is the first one that I walked into that I wasn't freaking out.
Nervous.
Yeah.
One other
Yeah,
thing
exactly.
you did really well, I thought, was you recapped all of the gaps he brought up.
Yeah.
That was huge. That was because it really then, once you kind of put those together, it's more of an emotional impact to him, and then now all of a sudden you're here to save the day with what you got to offer. So
Yeah.
the recap of those, and really it showed that you saw all of them. Not everybody actually notices them. They might ask the question, but they might not fully understand that was the need or the gap.
Yeah.
The way you recapped that was really good.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Appreciate all the feedback. Thank you guys.
Thank you for your time.
Yeah, and thank you.